it took me the weekend to really think about it, and I had a long talk with my agent, and we just went over it, and it was like, man, it sounds crazy, but everybody I talked to, and I have talked to a lot of former players, and I was like, listen, man, I could really use your input on this. Like, one of the guys I talked to and I really gave a lot of trust to was Lorenzo Neal. And I was like, Lo, I respect you. I respect your game. I respect everything about you. I really need your opinion on this. And he was like, Booney, you're young, you're crazy, you're in shape, you need to go play football. Like he was like, I can tell from the way you talk to me sometimes that you're very passionate about it and you still want to go out there and get hit and hit people. And he was like, dude, never give up on your dreams. And he's right. Like so many people work so hard to get here and all of a sudden they just get, you know, they flame out or whatever. And that's never been me. And now that there's mutual interest from both sides, it's like I absolutely need to go back and try and do this if it's going to be there.
Well, we've never seen your passion for anything on this show, just to clarify. So I'm curious what that's going to be like in the NFL. No, I'm kidding. So this is awesome. This is my first time hearing about it. I heard that you had an announcement today. And now I'm surprised to obviously be presented with this news. Be sad we're losing a co-host, but obviously congratulations. This is awesome. I guess you get interest when you find out your agent's talking to people at the combine, all that. How did you get your body ready? I mean, you said you gained 20 pounds. What's the last, month look like for you?
I mean, well, Collier's seen me, and I was what, like 275, 265. Yeah. I mean, I was down a lot because I was training so much and running a lot. And then as soon as I heard there was interest, it was like my body just kind of woke up and was like, all right, let's go eat. And I mean, dude, between the 5:30 wake up call to work out for 2.5 hours, I mean, it's right back into the routine. And at first I was like, man, this sounds really crazy. But then once I started getting into the training again, I was like, man, I feel like I'm back at home. I feel like this is where I need to be. This is what I'm doing. And, the one thing I always regret is never winning a championship and kind of giving up on it. And, I don't want to do that again. And looking at these teams and this league, it's like, dude, there are only so many guys that get to be called champions, and to maybe be able to go out and do that again is so fulfilling for me.
So now what happens next? Because your agent went to the combine, talked to people there, and there was Alex Boone interest. So now what do? Do you go do workouts with teams, or what's the process like?
Well, I think a lot of people, because one of the teams was like, dude, we saw Boone at the Super Bowl. He was 165. Like, how's he coming back? and so my agent Adam Heller was like, listen, Boone, he's going to hit the gym and he's going to be crazy. And they were like, absolutely, we're all about it. And if this is a real thing, you need to let us know if he's really for real. And I took the weekend and between talking to my wife and former players, they were all like, dude, you're so passionate about this. You're crazy. You love this game. You absolutely need to go back if there's a chance you can get back in. And so I just started eating and training. And next thing I know, I'm like 285. And I'm like, oh my God. My wife's like, dude, you're getting fat quick. She's like, you're really taking this to heart, aren't you? I was like, listen, I got to get up there. I got to beef up a little bit.
Oh, wives and their blunt honesty.
Constantly calling me fat. It's terrible.
How is the body? I mean, I've thought about this before. Richie Incognito, 2 times was out for a year, and both times he came back and played at an NFL level, and at least by some metrics was pretty good at his position. I've often thought that if players all at age 30 took a year off, that they would extend their careers by quite a bit more, that the grind catches up to you, but that break might help you. Even Adrian Peterson, for example, tears his ACL, but in a way you think maybe that helped him because he was able to just take a year off of getting his ass kicked for full seasons. So are you feeling like you are in better shape now in terms of the buildup of hits and injuries and everything else after being away?
I feel 100% great. And I agree with what you said about Adrian. I feel like a lot of times you kind of get beat up a lot. And then like looking back now, because I obviously have to start taking sets and you have to start moving out of a stance. Like I haven't taken a set out of a right-handed stance in a long time. And it came back to me so quick. Like within the weekend, I was like, wow, this might be better than it used to be. This might be stronger than it used to be. I think the more that I'm kind of experimenting with this, the more I'm starting to see my own body, and I'm not as much listening to outside sources as I am just myself. Like what feels comfortable, what feels good, this feels great, and I sent out film to my agent. He was like, listen, he sent it out to a couple people, and they were like, wow, okay, so we're for real about this then. All right, well, I know that the next step will be someone's going to call and be like, listen, we need to work him out. We need to see what he's like. Because obviously 2 years out, everyone's going to be like, where are the kinks? Where's the problem? Is there a problem? If there's not, then let's go. Let's do this. And just the fact that teams and whatever didn't shoot me down right away makes me so excited about this. The fact that they weren't like, dude, get out of here with that. We're not doing this. The fact they were like, oh, really? wasn't he 165? If he can get in the way, we can do it.
Have you seen offensive line play in the NFL? I wasn't surprised. They'd be like, oh, this guy sort of semi knows what he's doing.
Yeah, and just the fact that I think a lot of people are like, he's coming back with a clear head, clear conscience, totally focused, ready to go. I mean, I'm not kidding. As soon as my agent called me, and he was kind of laughing. He was like, dude, I don't know if you're sitting down or not, but you should probably sit out. And at first I thought he was messing with me. Like, dude, stop it. Don't do this. If you're messing with me, it's a sick joke and it's not funny, and I can't take this with my heart. But he was like, no, and then he was kind of calling me to be like, dude, you need to be for real with me, because I don't want to have egg on my face if you show up 265 and somebody's like, what is this? And I was like, no, man, I'm for real. And right now I'm 285, feel great, ready to roll, ready to move, ready to have fun.
How much more do you have to go, or are you comfortable at 285?
I think I'm going to go 15 more. I want to go to a full 300.
So how does that work? How do you get there? How much do you eat?
A lot of food. I mean, breakfast is like 12 eggs.
Oh my God.
Lunch is like 3 burritos from Chipotle. I had 3 steaks last night for dinner with 2 potatoes. I mean, I can eat a lot when I'm like ready to go. And it's so weird because normally I don't eat like that. But the minute I heard that somebody wanted me to come play, I was like, all right, let's go. Like,
so you just got hungry immediately.
I was like, babe, let's start cooking some food. Let's do it. The vegan thing is over.
So you were vegan before this?
I tried the vegan thing. I enjoyed it. It was a lot of fun. It was interesting, a lot of lentils and beans and a lot of, I was more of a raw vegan. I like the raw vegetables, but the minute people were like, yo, it's go to, and I think that I credit that too to a lot of the reason that I think I feel so healthy is because when most guys retire, and obviously everybody knows I can't drink. I don't drink. I went to like the raw vegan route. Instantly, I felt so much better, and body parts started coming back fully, and I started being able to move and jump. And I mean, I ran an international Ironman. I was like, there's no way. I told my wife before, there's no way I'm going to finish this. And like with a mile left to go in the run, I was like, I can't believe I'm going to finish this. This is almost incredible.
That's great. I mean, I wonder if some players will do the same thing that you're doing, because it sounds like it takes such a toll on your body that if you do take a step back, that maybe it helps you. So that's really cool for you. We are extremely happy. You're going to be away from the show for a bit.
Just a little bit.
Unfortunately, you're going to miss so much reckless speculation. And so I don't need you to tell us what teams are interested, but what teams can you not talk about, let's say on the show, because you might not want to get yourself in trouble? That's a joke. You don't have to say. I was just kidding.
There was no answer coming.
Yeah, there was no answer coming.
Do you have, I am curious though, without naming teams, like, do you have workouts now set up? Like,
no, not yet. I think everyone's still fresh in it, because I know that when we had talked, they were like, dude, you're just telling us now. And it was kind of like this is kind of by joke. And then all of a sudden a joke got really serious. And then all of a sudden everybody was like, if you're for real, we need to talk to our head coach. We need to talk to our player personnel. Like we could use them in the room. We love them. Whatever was said, it was just more of a, Boone, you need to go gain weight first before we can even really push this concept. Because like you said, the offensive line play is what it is in the league. But if you can get yourself up to a solid 300 and you can mentally get back, there'll be teams that are like, yeah, we would love to have them.
Well, we're very excited for you, and we hope this works out. And I will not be eating with you anytime soon, though. There's no way.
3 burritos from Chipotle? How'd you do that?
That's wild.
Incredible.
I used to be impressed with myself for how much pizza I could scarf down, but
3 burritos from Chipotle. Those are like minimum 1,200 calories. Minimum.
I know. I'm trying to keep it to like really somewhat healthy food, because you don't want to do like the fried chicken or like all the bread carbs. Like you want to keep it somewhat nutritious, but at the same time a lot of calories.
There's an episode of The Simpsons where Homer gains weight on purpose in order to work from home, and I feel like that's kind of you at this moment. He just is like eating and then weighing himself every day, trying to put on weight. So we'll root for you to enjoy all the food that you eat, and you will, I assume, keep us updated via text and so forth for how it's going for you.
Absolutely. And I'm going to listen to the show, and I'm going to be texting you about the show for sure.